Hi, my name is Drew Douglas. I'm the Communications Director for the City of Nixa. This video is going to provide you with an overview of the city's 5-year strategic plan, which was developed with a lot of citizen input. I'm going to start by giving you a short summary of how the strategic plan was developed, and then we're going to talk a little bit about what's in the plan and provide a little bit of context. The plan was designed to be ambitious yet achievable. We believe it's possible to implement all of this by the end of 2025. But it's going to take a lot of work and cooperation with our community to make this vision and plan become reality. We are up for this challenge, and we've already gotten started. We invite everybody in the community to get familiar with this plan, ask questions about it, and hold your city leaders accountable to making sure that they implement the plan. If you have questions about the plan, feel free to reach out to me directly by sending an email to cityhall@nixa.com or call Nixa City Hall at 417-725-3785. I'll also be showing you more ways to learn more about this plan at the end of the video. With that being said, let's jump in and get started. First, let's talk a little bit about the strategic planning process itself. So we got the ball rolling back in February of 2020 when we launched ImagineNixa.com. That website was all about giving everybody in the community an opportunity to share their ideas. And we were asking them, how can we make the vision for the community, which was defined by City Council, how do we take that vision and make it become reality? And that website was live from February 11th through June 30th of 2020. Here's a look at some of the engagement stats from ImagineNixa.com. We had 433 registered users of the website with over 9,000 site visits. We collected 576 ideas and comments just on the wall of ideas, which is just one of the ways that you can provide input on that site. Another way that you could provide input was through the customer service survey, and we had 142 responses to that. And we had over 1,000 contributions to the discussion forums from 813 visitors to those discussion forums. So we were really happy to see a lot of people engaging in this strategic planning process, a lot more especially than are normally able to participate in these processes if we're just having meetings, public meetings at City Hall. There's a limit to how many people who can set aside the time to show up to those meetings and have a voice. And especially in 2020, with the COVID pandemic ongoing, it was nice to be able to have a process where we could invite a lot of participation from anybody at any time over the internet. So once we closed the public comment period on ImagineNixa.com at the end of June 2020, then the process moved into the advisory committee stage. City staff had already taken some time to try to consider and analyze every single idea that had been posted on ImagineNixa.com, so we could provide all that input to the Strategic Planning and Advisory Committee members. Those committee members were appointed by City Administrator Jimmy Lyles, and we tried to make sure that the people on the committee represented a diverse cross-section of the community. They actually end up meeting for over 27 hours of discussion over the course of 9 meetings that were at least 3 hours long each meeting. And during that process, what they worked to do was to craft 60 action plans, which really took that vision set by City Council and define it into 60 points, 60 things that were tangible, achievable goals or objectives you could think about that we were going to be able to focus on achieving over the next 5 years. And you can see the list of the committee members here below on this slide. And it's important to point out that Dallin Atwell and Chelsea Weaver were selected by the committee members to be the committee coordinators. So feel free to ask any of these committee members about the planning process that they participated in. Or if you'd like to speak with the coordinators, we can actually help put you in touch with them if you've got questions about the intent behind anything that they put in the wording of this strategic plan. So next, let's talk a little bit about the structure of the strategic plan and kind of how it's built. There are kind of 3 levels to the strategic plan. The first and the highest level is the strategic priorities. Those are those 6 really broad, kind of vague statements that were adopted by council, and they describe our vision and values in those broad terms to kind of set us in the right direction. Then we have the action plans, which are a little bit more specific, and this is really the meat and potatoes of the strategic plan that we're going to go over. The action plans were written by the advisory committee, and each one had to be approved by unanimous vote of the committee. An action plan describes a specific desired result. Each of the action plans describes how we want the city to do more or do something new. So if we already have some operational thing that the city is already doing as regular kind of status quo for our city, you're not going to see that in the strategic plan as an action plan, because it's something that we're already doing, and we're not really looking at any change to the way that we're doing that. Lastly, the most specific part of the plan are action steps, and you're not actually going to see those in this presentation because it gets way too in the weeds, and we could spend weeks talking about all the different ways that we can accomplish action plans. But that's really what an action step is just a possible way to accomplish an action plan. Those action steps are flexible, they're non-binding, they're going to evolve with time. Staff are really the experts in each of their departments, and they're going to craft a lot of the action steps. But some of the action steps were actually taken from ImagineNixa.com, those ideas that were submitted by the public, and some were suggestions that came from that advisory committee. So we mentioned before the 6 strategic priorities which were set by council. Those are all contained within the strategic vision statement, which was adopted by City Council back at the beginning of 2020, which says the City of Nixa will be a high-performance government, creating a safe community, reliable infrastructure, and sustainable economy with a vibrant atmosphere united by hometown spirit. And so you see there in those highlighted red words, those are the 6 areas that we're focusing on over the next 5 years: high-performance government, community safety, reliable infrastructure, sustainable economy, fun and unique places, and hometown spirit. So now let's zoom in on the first strategic priority, high-performance government. How do we define that? What do we mean when we say high-performance government? Well, here's what we mean. We will continue to create effective, diverse, and innovative teams within the municipal organization, which will use efficient processes to produce measurable and actionable results as we provide high-quality public services in a way that is clear, accountable, and financially responsible while engaging citizens and residents. So the first long-term objective that you're seeing here under high-performance government is to improve processes and productivity. That's something we're always going to be working on even beyond 5 years, right? But what are we going to do specifically over the next 5 years? That's what these action plans lay out. So in order to improve processes and productivity across all departments, the City of Nixa shall, Action Plan 1, streamline processes in an intuitive manner that reduces effort across all departments. Action Plan 2, update levels of technology and digital security to protect citizen and city data. In order to attract and retain well-qualified talent and build effective teams, the City of Nixa shall, Action Plan 3, identify and address staffing needs in order to meet community demands and provide efficient services. Action Plan 4, offer compensation, benefits, and training which are all competitive. And Action Plan 5, ensure talent attraction efforts reach diverse professional and student organizations. Action Plan 5 is actually a great segue into the next slide here because it's about diversity a little bit more. So in order to further embrace diversity as an organization, the City of Nixa shall, Action Plan 6, develop and implement guidelines for visually portraying diversity in communications and marketing materials. We already do a little bit of this. We want to make sure that we're being super intentional about it and really showing the community that we are welcoming to diverse individuals, that they can fit in and be part of this community and part of this organization. Now you're also going to notice that there's no other action plans underneath this specific section here, and that's because since the city is already an equal opportunity employer and performs staff trainings regarding diversity, we did not write an action plan regarding the continuation of those existing operations because again, we don't do any action plans for things that are already kind of standard operations, just descriptions of new things and going above and beyond major improvement areas, right? And so also another thing to keep in mind here is that there are more action plans regarding the promotion of diversity across the broader community, which are included under the Hometown Spirit section later in this presentation. And those action plans will also be helping us further embrace diversity as an organization. In order to maintain financial responsibility, the City of Nixa shall, Action Plan 7, provide voters with opportunities to secure new revenue sources to ensure the long-term financial stability of the city, and Action Plan 8, expand financial transparency efforts to educate the public about city finances. Since the city is already required to pass balanced annual budgets and publish budget reports, we did not write an action plan about the continuation of those current operations either. In order to improve communications and civic engagement, the City of Nixa shall, Action Plan 9, expand and enhance message distribution systems, procedures, and protocols to improve public awareness of city news, events, and program offerings. Action Plan 10, design and utilize a city app, which is integrated with the website. And Action Plan 11, redesign nixa.com to be more functional, interactive, and user-friendly. And Action Plan 12, implement a virtual platform for broadcasting city council meetings. That's a good example of something that we're excited to get started on early in 2021 to start broadcasting city council meetings over the internet. So now let's move on to strategic priority number 2, which is community safety. And let me pause here for a second just to clarify that there are 6 strategic priority areas, but there's not one in preference to another. So we have them numbered here just because there are 6 of them, so you can keep track that you're on 2 of 6, but there's no priority or ranking among these. There's not one of these any more important than the others. We have to be able to work on all of these 6 priority areas at the same time. So community safety is defined as we will promote an exceptional quality of life through partnerships and proactive measures to ensure Nixa is safe, healthy, and welcoming. And the first long-term objective here is to provide excellent police services. That's something that we're always going to be working towards, but these are the 4 action plans that we are really going to focus on over the next 5 years to make sure that we're providing excellent police services, which is action plan number 1, build community trust of the police department through improved transparency and communication. Action plan 2, provide voters an opportunity to fund law enforcement operations and facilities to meet the community's growing needs and demands. Action plan number 3, expand police department facilities to address the growth of the department and the need for additional workspace. This is really important because the Nixa Police Department's actually really they're bursting at the seams. We've grown a lot over the last several years to keep up with the population growth and the growth that we're seeing in the calls for service that we have to respond to. And so we're running out of office space, and we're reaching that point where we need to figure out how we can create more space for those police staff so they're not packed in there like sardines. Then action plan number 4, offer more trainings and education opportunities to the public regarding policing and safety related issues. Next, in order to promote health and safety through community partnerships, the City of Nixa shall, action plan 5, foster partnerships to enhance long-term crisis intervention programs. And I should note here that there are a lot of other health and safety partnerships that the City of Nixa participates in, such as with our county health department, with the sheriff's office, the county ambulance district, the fire protection district. There are a lot of organizations and partnerships that we have ongoing, but since those are existing operations, we don't have an action plan here to describe enhancement to those existing partnerships. Next, in order to improve pedestrian and driver safety, the City of Nixa shall, action plan 6, prioritize high traffic areas when upgrading sidewalks and crosswalks. Action plan 7, provide a safer method for pedestrian travel along Missouri Street. And action plan 8, employ more traffic calming devices to encourage compliance with speed limits. Next, in order to enhance emergency preparedness, the City of Nixa shall, action plan 9, develop and annually review a comprehensive continuity plan for all operations to ensure uninterrupted city functions during all hazards incidents. That just means make sure we have a plan for any kind of disaster. Action plan number 10, prioritize funding for facilities, equipment, and technology necessary to ensure the city is prepared for all hazards incidents. That's making sure that we have the funding in place to follow the plan that we're developing there in Action Plan 9. Strategic Priority 3, reliable infrastructure. What do we mean by that? Well, we're going to develop and maintain future-proof infrastructure designed to meet current needs and accommodate growth. We will provide safe, reliable, and environmentally friendly services. And the first long-term objective here is in order to improve our transportation infrastructure, the City of Nixa shall, action plan 1, improve roadways to alleviate congestion in high traffic areas. Action plan 2, improve intersections to enhance safety and alleviate congestion. Action plan 3, create new road connectivity to alleviate congestion in high traffic areas. Action plan 4, advocate to MoDOT that they prioritize various Nixa projects. And action plan 5, improve public lighting to enhance safety and efficiency citywide. In order to improve utility services, the City of Nixa shall, Action Plan 6, bury electric lines to enhance safety, increase reliability, and improve aesthetics. Action Plan 7, upgrade utility metering to automated meter infrastructure, which is known as AMI, to improve customer service and reliability. And since the city is already continually working to maintain and improve the high quality of our water and wastewater utility systems, you're not going to see any action plans regarding the continuation of those existing really high level, high quality operations for water and wastewater. In order to improve environmental quality, the City of Nixa shall, Action Plan 8, improve community awareness of ways the public can minimize damage to our environment. And Action Plan 9, implement a comprehensive stormwater utility in order to manage and enhance water quality. So the fourth strategic priority is sustainable economy. What do we mean by that? Well, we want to help our local businesses continue to thrive and expand while developing an atmosphere of entrepreneurship. We will engage in partnerships to create an environment which fosters the job skills and workforce required to succeed in tomorrow's economy. And we're going to invest in our community to attract further private investment and economic development. In order to attract investment and development, the City of Nixa shall, Action Plan 1, seek to partner with a developer in order to build a new industrial park. Action Plan 2, provide voters an opportunity to fund the city's economic development efforts. And Action Plan 3, implement a unique economic development branding and marketing strategy for the city and distribute its key messages in creative and innovative ways. And this one here is all about supporting businesses that are already in Nixa. So in order to support business retention and expansion, the City of Nixa shall, Action Plan 4, create a packet and electronic communications which explain the processes of starting and maintaining a business in Nixa. And Action Plan 5, participate annually in tax-free weekend. Since the city is already engaged in partnerships with area economic development organizations such as the Nixa Chamber of Commerce and Show Me Christian County, we don't have here an action plan regarding the continuation of those partnerships since they're already operational and ongoing. And strategic priority number 5 is funding new places. This is, we have a lot of input we got from ManageNixa.com about placemaking and all the things we can do to make our community a more vibrant place and a place where people want to spend time and want to spend their dollars and go shopping and things like that. So this is a really big aspect of our strategic plan. So what do we mean when we say fun and unique places? Well, we want to cultivate vibrant, unique, and accessible spaces which attract and benefit residents, businesses, and visitors. We will seek to add a local flavor to new and existing spaces where people will want to spend time. Public spaces will offer fun and healthy recreational opportunities for all. So first off, in order to beautify the Nixa community, the City of Nixa shall, Action Plan 1, improve public spaces by incorporating landscaping, fountains, and art, and conduct routine maintenance of those things. Action Plan 2, invest in 5 art installation projects, including sculptures, fountains, statues, and other art on public property. Action Plan 3, establish a citywide maintenance department to coordinate maintenance of all public structures, landscaping, and spaces to ensure functionality, operability, and fresh, clean appearance. Action Plan number 4, implement a process for members of the public to beautify public spaces. And Action Plan 5, create and implement a consistent water tower painting plan. In order to improve connectivity for pedestrians and bicyclists, the City of Nixa shall, Action Plan 6, create a digital and printed mapping system of all pedestrian-friendly pathways. And Action Plan 7, prioritize funding to connect existing school and park properties to the regional trails identified in the OTO's Regional Trails Plan. So the OTO is the Ozark Transportation Organization, and they already have a kind of a long-term vision for where regional trails could go and connect. And we need to be focusing in our community inside the Nixa city limits to make sure that we're building out, we're making the investments to build out those trails and connecting to those regional trails. Next, in order to expand and improve recreational spaces, the City of Nixa shall, Action Plan 8, develop new recreation spaces and renovate existing recreational spaces in accordance with the Parks Master Plan in order to meet the recreational demands of the community. There's a lot of ideas that we collected over Imagine Nixa. Anytime you have a discussion about what we can do with our parks, you get a lot of different answers and ideas. And the Parks Department has gone out and and with a professional firm, consulting firm, developed a Parks Master Plan to really determine which directions are going to be best for our community and the best ways to use the land and the other assets that we have to meet those recreation demands that we have. So we're excited to see that to start to be implemented over the next 5 years. Action Plan 9, provide voters an opportunity to fund the addition of an indoor pool at the X Center. This is probably one of the biggest things that we saw in Imagine Nixa. There's a lot of people that say they want to see an indoor pool in Nixa. The issue with an indoor pool is they're just super expensive and we can't afford it within our current budget. So in order to be able to do something like that, we would have to have a ballot issue approved by voters that would fund the construction of that. And so it was important to the advisory committee that we include this as something that we give the community an opportunity to vote on. And if the funding is approved, then we will absolutely be able to build something like that. Action Plan number 10, put forward at least one ballot issue which would provide voters an opportunity to fund expansion of the Parks Department facilities and our operations. So this is saying, like, even separate from the pool, there's a lot of the things that we need to be able to do to fulfill that Parks Master Plan or to improve our park systems. Again, we can't fit all that stuff within our current budget. We're going to have to find some funding there. And so at some point over the next 5 years, we're going to have to provide voters an opportunity, provide them with a vision for what specifically they would be funding so that we can actually build out those things that were identified in the Parks Master Plan and provide some of those things that the community is telling us that they want, but that we can't currently afford within our current budget. In order to expand the variety of recreational program opportunities, the City of Nixa shall, Action Plan 11, implement 5 additional recreational sports programs. Action Plan 12, implement new community activities aimed towards adults. Action Plan 13, implement more community enrichment courses. Action Plan 14, create and implement an online platform for existing and new community classes. So that would be kind of cool because we would then be able to provide some of these enrichment courses and things like that virtually and online. So that's something we've especially learned about in 2020, the value of being able to provide events and recreational opportunities virtually. And Action Plan 15, offer X Center membership plans which include pool access. In order to revitalize neighborhoods and business districts, the City of Nixa shall, Action Plan 16, make investments each year towards downtown district revitalization. Now, many of the other action plans are under the category of beautification, and the action plan regarding the burying of overhead electric lines and various other action plans within this whole plan. We believe that those things are all going to also going to be contributing to neighborhood revitalization for many neighborhoods in Nixa. But the downtown district, that Main Street corridor, is really being singled out as it needs attention to really make Nixa a place that's more of a destination where people want to come spend time and money. And strategic priority number 6 is hometown spirit. We will engage, inform, and partner with residents, nonprofits, and businesses to foster a sense of unity and inclusion across our diverse and growing community to preserve a shared sense of small town pride and interconnection. We will invite participation in events, programs, and experiences that bring us together to enhance our quality of life. Now, we know that Nixa's demographics are not super diverse, but we do have diversity here, right? We do have people of diverse backgrounds that are in Nixa, and we want them to feel welcome and to make them feel like they're just as much a part of the community as anybody else. That's what we mean when we say that we want to promote that sense of unity and inclusion across our diverse and growing community. And we hope to see more diversity in our community going forward. Action Plan 1, develop and implement a marketing strategy that actively attracts and embraces diversity. Action Plan 2, implement at least 5 new diversity and inclusion initiatives. Action Plan 3, promote and host a roundtable discussion series with a diverse cross-section of community members to build relationships and address their needs within the community. And Action Plan 4, implement programs to welcome new Nixa Utilities customers, both residents and businesses. In order to offer events and festivities which bring everyone together, the City of Nixa shall, Action Plan 5, incorporate multicultural and inclusive aspects to existing events. Again, since action plans should not describe continuation of existing operations, there is no action plan regarding the fact that the city should continue to cooperate with community organizations as they organize community events that are open to everybody. And we heard lots of ideas through ImagineNixa.com of other events that people would like to see offered in the Nixa community. But the Strategic Planning Advisory Committee decided none of those events have to be organized by the municipal government, but rather it would be better for those events to be hosted by the community organizations such as the Chamber of Commerce and other groups and clubs. For example, many said that they want to see a 4th of July festival again here in Nixa, and the Chamber of Commerce has said that they're going to try to make that happen. And obviously the city has a role in cooperating with organizations that are trying to put on an event like that, and we certainly intend to do so. And in order to foster pride in our community, the City of Nixa shall, action plan number 6, by 2025, the Communications Department should be creating community showcase videos on a monthly basis. Action Plan 7, develop, implement, and market a unique and comprehensive community brand identity not associated with any particular organization. This is cool because what a lot of people have realized is that the city organizations, the different government agencies have their own logos, but there's not a logo that's just about Nixa. That's just about kind of universal to the whole community that we can use, that anybody could throw on a t-shirt, anybody could take some ownership of, because this City of Nixa logo pertains to the municipal government, right? The Nixa Eagle pertains to the Nixa School District. The Fire District has their own logo, right? But what's that Nixa identity, that logo, that's really universal to everybody in the community, can be used by everybody? That's what we want to look into establishing. And then action plan number 8, add consistent and conforming welcome signs on all major thoroughfares. So we're looking into adding really beautiful, nice welcome to Nixa signs coming into town, whether you're coming from the east or west on Highway 14, or whether you're coming from the north or south on Highway 160. When you get to the Nixa city limits, we want you to see a really nice welcome to Nixa sign. So in summary, the City Council voted to adopt the strategic plan on November 23rd, 2020, and we're already kicking in the gear to try to make this thing come true and to implement this strategic plan. The action plans are objectives the city should be accomplishing by 2025. I just want to kind of reinforce that one more time. This plan does not mean that the city can't also do other things which would serve the strategic vision. As the COVID-19 pandemic has taught us, certainly we have to be able to react to unpredictable events and changes. So city leaders have to be able to do other things, not necessarily outlined in the action plans, but in everything we do, we should be striving to fulfill the strategic vision. So with that, thanks for watching. If you've got questions, you can post them at imaginenixa.com/results, or you can view or print the strategic plan document at imaginenixa.com/results, or at nixa.com/community/strategic-plan. And keep in mind, we're going to be providing progress reports to you at least annually, if not more frequently than that at times, to update you on which action steps we've taken to make this strategic plan become reality. And we're going to start kind of ticking off those action plans and showing you which things we've already gotten done and accomplished and implemented. So stay tuned. Exciting things are happening for Nixa.